Hey Team Fusion, it's a new year and we're getting into some new curriculum. We're going to be taking the traditional Taekwondo forms, pulling out some of the techniques and putting them into different contexts. And so today's lesson, we're going to take a look at one of the most powerful strikes for use in self-defense, and that's called the elbow strike. So I want to first begin with a correct stance. So I need to make sure that my feet are spread out a little outside of my shoulder width. Almost imagine my Taekwondo front stance that I've shortened up. My body is square, so my shoulders are facing the front. That way I can effectively use both sides of my body. And then I want to, of course, keep my hands up and in front. So my palms are out. Hey man, I don't want to fight, but of course I can if I have to. So now let's actually look at some of our elbow strikes. And there's all kinds of different elbow strikes for different situations. But the first one I want to look at is a defensive elbow block. So starting from my hand base, I'm imagining the bad guy's trying to attack. I'm gonna step in, at the same time, I'm gonna brush my hair back. Make sure it looks good, keep that elbow in nice and tight. If I'm lucky, maybe I'll even make contact to my opponent's chin. Otherwise, I can at least make sure that I'm staying safe and I'm not gonna take that punch on the jaw or the temple. So one more time, upward elbow block, starting with my hands out, I'm gonna step in and throw my upward elbow. One more time, just like this. And of course, I can do that on both sides of my body to make sure that I'm protecting. A couple of quick tips: when I do this upward elbow block, it's very important that I don't step in and drop the other hand. I see that all the time. It's also really important that I make sure my elbow is in front of my face, nice and tight. At this range, I'm so close that I don't need to be looking at my partner or the bad guy. Instead, I'm gonna keep that elbow in tight, put my bicep into my own eye socket. Space is not my friend here. So that's the upward elbow block. In a second, we'll look at some attacking horizontal elbows. All right, so we just looked at the upward elbow block, which allowed me to stay safe when I have an opponent attacking me. So now that I've closed the distance with my upward elbow block, I am in a position to be able to strike back with a horizontal elbow. So what I want to do for that is to make sure that, of course, my hands are up, I've just finished my block, and now I want to pull my thumb in towards my armpit. A couple of things that's really important. I want to make sure my palm is not turned in towards me this way. My palm needs to face down. And that's important because karate anatomy here, I've got two bones in my forearm. And I need those bones to line up so that I've got maximum strength and I'm leading with the edge of my elbow. So this is not the good position. Instead, I'm going to turn it down like this. My hand is going to be open so that I'm really making sure that bone is the leading edge. The elbow is very effective not only as a strike, but also as a cutting tool to hopefully injure the bad guy who's attacking me. So let's take a look at the elbow strike now. Starting from my stance, I've got my hands up. I've covered up and made sure I stayed safe. And now from here, keeping my left arm up, I'm going to pull my thumb in and rotate from my hip. It's almost like I'm throwing a right cross. So I'm using that hip motion, pulling my thumb in tight, and then I'm gonna trace my own forearm, just like this. That ensures that I stay covered up the entire time. It's really important that when I do this elbow strike, I don't drop one hand. I wanna stay covered up the whole time. So it's a horizontal elbow strike. I'll do it a couple of times so you can watch. And there it is.